Leah, Katie9LFZ here. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be doing an experiment to see which is more efficient on FT8, calling CQ or hunting and pouncing, so stick around to find out. Okay guys, so I have had my license for about 3 or 4 years now, and for a majority of that time I've just been doing HF, VHF, doing nets, doing field days, doing rag chews, and recently doing some POTAs, which, don't get me wrong, all of that is very cool stuff. But ham radio and amateur radio have a lot of very cool other things that they also include, many different facets, and everybody finds something that they love, and every ham has something that they just do, and they love it. So I figured I would try and explore some of the other things that I haven't done. So I've done HF, obviously. I've done CW. I took the LICW kids class, which was so much fun. I met some really great people through that. But there's one thing I haven't done a ton of, and that is digital modes. I have done ISS SSTV transmissions in the past just because I heard it and I was like, I love space. So, you know me, standing in 0-degree weather in Wisconsin in the middle of the winter in a bathrobe with my Baofeng at 5 a.m. Those were some fun times. But besides the SSTV, sending and receiving, I haven't done any other digital modes. And a little while ago, I walked in during field day, whenever that was, and I saw Grid Tracker on one of the big TVs, and I was like, that is seriously cool. So I went up to the guy who's doing it, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? He was like, oh yeah, it's FT8, it's what I always do. So we tried to make a couple contacts there, but we really couldn't. So I figured I'd come back here, I'd set it all up on my computer, and I'd see what I could do. Tuesday, I got it all set up. I'm using the IC7300, I'm using a DX Commander dipole out there, and I'm using a USB connection between the radio and the computer, using the radio's sound card, and we just searched YouTube to be like, hey, ICOM 7300, what are the settings you need to use FT8? And they worked. So that was pretty cool. So we got everything set up on Tuesday. I made a couple contacts, but I was like, I have a bit of an experiment, a bit of a thought I'd like to pursue. Which is more efficient? Calling CQ, and whoever answers you, when they do eventually answer you, you pretty much guarantee the contact because you already know they can hear you and you already know you can hear them. So is that more efficient, or is it more efficient to hunt and pounce and see, hey, who can I get? So I am going to be trying to get as many grid squares as possible. I'm wearing my 2018 Grid Chaser t-shirt. I literally just learned that that was what this was about like last week. So I'm twinning with my OM over there. You can't see him. I'm actually going to bring him in for a quick explanation about what FT8 is. In my experience, as a young adult, a kid, a teen, whatever you want to call me, in ham radio, obviously I'm a YL, hopefully, obviously, I don't have that many wrinkles. It's best to just jump right in with some supervision and learn, and then when they come back at you with the super highly technical stuff, you got some basis, so you kind of understand more of what's going on. So he's just going to give me a super quick explanation of what FT8 is, and then we'll jump right into the action. Residential OM, are you ready?
I am ready.
And we're twinning because we're just awesome like that.
Totally planned.
Yes.
Alright, so FT8 is a digital mode. It relies on the FSK, MFSK, frequency keying algorithm that already existed a little bit. Joe Taylor and friends worked on it, made it a little bit better, a lot better. It also uses your time clock so that on your side, you know to expect to receive something during a certain time frame, and on their side, they know that they can send. And then the opposite is also true. On their side, they know that they can receive something from you, and you know that you can be sending it. So you've got to make sure your clock on your computer is in sync. You've got to make sure you have the right software from, I guess there's a couple of different pieces of software you can use, but the most popular one is WSJTX.
Which is what we're using.
Which is what we're using. You need a sound card, which is built into the 7300. You need a USB cable to connect it to the 7300. You need a computer, which we're on. And then you start tuning things around and making some settings changes until everything dials in appropriately. And that's what we did with the other YouTube videos that we saw. So, get after it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, let's get this party started. Here we are. I got everything pulled up on the screen. I've got WSJTX over here, grid tracker over here, and a graph over here, and of course my lovely face right where you can't see my mouse. So my plan for this is simple. I'm going to go for 20 minutes. 10 of those minutes I'm going to be calling CQ. 10 of those minutes I'm going to be hunting and pouncing. At the end, I'll count up all the grid squares and see how everything ended up. I have a bit of a hypothesis, as all good scientific experiments should have, but no spoilers. So we'll see if my expectation comes true. First 10 minutes on the clock, we're going to be calling CQ. What it'll do is it receives for the first 15 seconds. You can see the CQs over here. And then it sends for 15 seconds. So it should send next. CQ KD9LFZ in my grid square, which is EN35. You can see I'm the only person in my grid square calling right now on 20 meters. There was a couple other people earlier, but right now I'm the only one. Ooh. Okay, so he heard me, and he's going to say my call sign, his call sign, and his grid square, which he is all the way down here in Oklahoma, or Arkansas, whichever one. And then I said, okay, you are a -1 as a signal report, -1 decibels. And now I'm receiving, so we'll see if he says something back. He did! He said, we're -11, so now we're sending Roger, Roger, 73. You can see it just cycles through all of these. And once it gets down here, it'll say CQ KD9LFC again. So we made our first contact. Not even a minute and a half in. Awesome. And he said 73 as well. So, on to the next contact. If they're all this quick, they're racking up the points. Transmitting currently. You can see what I'm transmitting, what I was last transmitting. Here's the signal strength of what I was receiving. If it has my name in it, it shows up red. If it's something I say, it shows up yellow. If it's green, that means it's a CQ. I'm calling CQ right now. You can look over here and see that PSK reporter band activity. Most of the band activity is on 20 meters, which is where we are. Ooh, someone else called us. KD9LFZ from K9AV in EM69. So, Illinois, Indiana. That's pretty cool. So we said he's -8 decibels. Let's see what he says. He says we're -18 too. Well, we said he's -8. He said we're -18. And over here it says click OK to confirm the following QSO. Just click OK. It's saved to like a text document later, a log that I'm pretty sure you can export. I'll put it in my own log later. 2 contacts. We have 4 minutes left. It's funny that there's a grid square that is Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. A little bit of everything. And if you click and hold down, you can look at the grid squares that you can't necessarily see. So, EN45 is right next to us. I might go activate a grid square soon. That'd be exciting. It'd be cool to activate like a rare grid square. I'm not sure if I want to do that much driving though. I'd have to figure out if there's any ones that are near me. 2 minutes. Ooh, K6JDC in FM07. So he's all the way over here in Virginia area. We said he's a +2. Let's see what he says. -9. And we say Roger, Roger 73. So that is a third contact. And we're going to hit. Okay, I love the sound. Ready for it? It reminds me of like some game I had as a kid. I think it was like a computer game, probably. I don't even know, but I just love that sound. We got 51 seconds. I'm not even sure if you can make a contact in FT8 in 51 seconds. No, because you'd have to... I don't think that's possible. I mean, unless you said everything all at once. 3, 2, 1. Stop transmitting. Awesome. Okay, so we made 3 contacts, 3 separate grid squares, and now it's time to do the second round. So someone answered my CQs that I was sending earlier. Someone all the way down in Mexico. I have never made a contact in Mexico before. Let's see if we can hear us. So we're telling him he's -13. It didn't look like he heard us the first time. Okay, see if we can get him. No! Come on! Come back to me! I just want a contact in Mexico! The anticipation of like, did he leave me? Does he know? What is it? XE2JX. Someone else is calling him, and W7DRW. Wonder who that person is. Since that other person got him, I will be polite and stop transmitting. That's a bummer. I want to pull up whoever that is, Pure Z page real quick and look. Let's see, so, yeah, Mexico, continents of the world, United States, counties, grid square, and world radio friendship. Wow. Kind of wish I would have gotten him, but it's fine. Maybe we'll make another DX contact later. I'm back this time for the second 10 minutes. That is going to be starting now. Here we are going to be chasing CQs, which is slightly more difficult just because I don't have as much skill. I'm going to pick the person who we can hear the best, so only -4. Because that means he probably has a better chance of hearing us. Someone else is also not calling CQ, but... Is this the guy we're talking to? No. KD6HWI. Oh, he's right over here. Cool. We just got someone there. We should be able to get him. So we call CQ. We're saying his call sign, our call sign, and where we're located. And now we're receiving. See if we can get it. He did hear us, so we're gonna say Roger the -6. He's -6. We're -6 for him as well. Now let's see what he says. He says Roger 73. Okay, so we have yet another contact. Woo! The real question is that the same grid square? Yeah. So we have one less grid square than contacts. Because we activated 2 people from the same grid square. Oh, I forget. I'm supposed to be talking to people. Okay. Let's try this guy. N6ZT. He is a plus 0.2. So there's probably a pretty good area that we can, pretty good chance, not pretty good area, pretty good chance that we can get him. He's all the way over there in LA area. Ooh, so, wait, is this the same? This was a guy that we worked. This was the guy that we just worked. Still saying Roger 73. I got a little lost there. We were having another conversation. But N6ZT gave us a -5. We gave him a -6. And we set our 73s. So, that is contact number 2. 6 minutes left to go. Let's try K040. Not K040. Not K040. Do I know how to read call signs? We should probably also be pretty careful that we don't try and work the same person twice. So, KD6HWI we worked, and we also worked N6ZT. Now we're trying to work KO40. I don't know why that is so hard for me to say, KO40. The other thing is I don't know, like, how long to wait. That all comes with practice. Now we're going to try NM3P. 1 minute and 47 seconds. Baton Rouge. Ooh, he heard us. They were -17. So, is that the same person? I'm going to say he's negative. It didn't automatically move down, which is weird. Usually it does that. So he sent it back again. You're -17. We sent -5. We got 51 seconds to make this contact. Come on. Now we're gonna see if he says anything. So we got his signal report, he got ours, and now I'm just gonna say Roger 73. Will he say back? Okay, so our time is up. We're like this close from making a third contact. Technically, we exchanged call signs and signal reports. He just hasn't said Roger 73. He's calling CQ again. I swear, I have not been recording for hours, but it just got dark outside, so I had to turn a light on. But the results are in, and the winner is both of them, surprisingly. So CQ calling, I got 3 full contacts in the 10 minutes, and the search and pounce, I got 2.5-ish, almost 3 contacts. Who knows if the last one was actually contact. I asked my dad, he said it's a big debate over whether the RR73 is the end, or whatever. For my purposes, I'm counting it as a contact, just for the purposes of the experiment, but you're welcome to decide it is whatever it is. So, because they were the same amount of efficiency within a 10-minute time period, who knows about if it was like 2 hours, who knows. But within the 10-minute time period, there's the same amount of efficiency, which for me, it then comes down to how fun was it? So CQ calling, I mean, it was fun, but like you also just sat there and waited for it to run through the line, so it wasn't as much fun. For me, searching and pouncing, there was a lot more involvement for it. You had to see like how loud each of them were, who you had the best chance of getting, and then you had to make sure you weren't talking over someone else, because we're polite here in ham radio, folks, aren't we? So it was a lot more involved with the search and pounce, so I liked that better. Overall, FT8 was super fun to do, and I loved doing this experiment. In the future, I am going to try more digital modes. I have a couple in mind, but if you have any suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a great day. 73.